Barakah, Allah, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh, Bahasham, Makakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. Now, this is an exercise, right? Well, see what I asked Grok. Now, I'm not going to say too much, but I want you to put two and two together, all right? Blending the 84 with then and the current events that you see with the protest, the immigration protests and things that are going on now. Make no mistake about it. In regards to what is going on right now, it is 100% orchestrated, okay? Because there is a bigger purpose here, all right? They want to agitate the people. That's why there are agent provocateurs. There are ads in Craigslist and marketplace ads for people to come out, and they'll pay them a certain amount of money to come out and just, do a certain job, okay? And it always reminds me of that scene from The Boys, if you haven't seen it on Prime, probably nearing the last episode, right, closer to the final season. There are these protests, and they kind of, from behind the scenes, a certain group, one of the, the good guys that are actually bad, they look good in the eye of the public, but they're actually bad. They stage a no longer living corpse, and then they have a couple of people go, and what would have been an otherwise normal peaceful protest, there were certain people that were there to cause trouble, right? To kind of, rouse up the people. And then from then it looks organic, right? Seeing the need for law and order, okay? With peace being at the head, by peace and safety, right? And we'll get that in just a second. But we're going to start. I'm going to open with two scriptures here. Psalms 94 and 20. I have it in the NLT here. Can unjust leaders claim that God is on their side? Leaders whose decrees permit injustice. Actually, you know what? No, I'll finish reading it here and then we'll go to the KJV. They gang up against the righteous and condemn the innocent to death. Well, they're going to try. They're going to get 2/3 of our people for sure, right? Zechariah prophesies that, all right? 2/3 shall be cut off on this side. But in the end, when they come back, all right, they will be back and all Israel will be saved. Make no mistake about it. Nobody is burning in this fictional hell for eternity, okay? 22, but the Lord is my fortress. My God is the mighty rock where I hide. God will turn the sins of evil people back on them. I want to read, let's go back to, because we're going to get Isaiah 10 and 1. So I'm going to read it here in the Psalms 94 and 20 in the KJV. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? And that is what they do. They are going to write these ambiguous laws and these things, and they are soon, first it starts with Northern Kingdom, right? First it starts with Israel, and then Judah is going to get it. They're going to come after the Southern, the Southern Kingdom. They're going to come after Judah, Benjamin, and Levi here pretty soon, all right? Because they're pretty much everybody is going to be a dissenter, or you can be put away or some of us, who knows, can be sent to another country because of what you have said in the past, or because of your beliefs. Those of us who truly believe in this thing, who truly believe in Yahweh Yahweh Shai, right? That name might be outlawed. Okay, who knows? Who knows? All we know is that you are watching the brick being laid for the start of Jacob's trouble, and this is going to be a wild ride. So without Yahweh Yahweh Shai, you are cooked. You're finished. I'm going to do Isaiah 10 and 1. And I got to figure out how I'm going to title this, because I don't want to ring any bells, but I prayerfully the Lord, gets this who needs to get it. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And that is what they do. To prescribe is to write something, write into, like a prescription. You write into law, right? In this case. Here we go. All right, so this is what Rex 84 is. Short for Readiness Exercise 1984. What else is 1984 associated with? Like the Orwell, I think that's, yeah, 84. The book 1984, George Orwell, right? This is the dystopian Orwellian future that we are currently in. Okay, contingency plan drill developed by 1984 during the Reagan administration. Its primary purpose was to test the federal government's ability to detain large numbers of U.S. citizens deemed national security threats. And anybody can be deemed a national security threat at any time, because when they write these laws, they are ambiguous enough to where they can make it fit to where they need it to fit. You are watching in real time the collapse of what was once a sovereign nation and is now a corporatocracy mixed with what would be a technocracy as well. But hey, man, it's imploding, and they're trying to organize chaos, but the scriptures tell us otherwise, that they are going to lose control of this so-called controlled demolition here. All right. The plan was first detailed publicly by reporter Alfonso Chardy in the Miami Herald on July 5th, 1987. So I may have to do we're going to probably do a part 2, because I want to add another TikTok video by the guy, Rashid or Hashid Bolson. But anyway, to be determined, to see what the Lord leads. All right, let's keep reading here. Key components of Rex 84 exercise. Mass detention scenario. This exercise simulated the detention of approximately 500,000 undocumented Central American residents and 4,000 U.S. citizens labeled as national security threats. Interesting. And anything, right? By peace and safety. Let's see. He shall destroy many. KJV. I should have known that. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. Let's go there. Straight to the point. If there's a part 2 to this, that one will be a lot more extensive, maybe even an hour, to see how long it takes for my laptop. Anyway, 1 Thessalonians 5:3, straight to the point here. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as it travaileth upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. All right. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. We got to pay attention. We see the writing is on the wall, right? Who are brothers, right? The believers. All right. So here we go. Scenario was modeled on a 1970s exercise called Operation Cable Splicer. There you go. Look into that as well. Developed by FEMA director Louis Giuffrida, Reagan's advisor Edwin Meese, and President Ronald Reagan. Let me see. Let's have us a look here. Louis Honorado Jeff Guida, or Giuffrida. Born in Connecticut. All right. Okay. There was a certain thing that I was looking for, but maybe they hadn't crept in just yet. You know who the they is. The ones that spill into a nation and take control from the shadows by suggestion, because the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, right? It's a certain group of people that I'm speaking of that I won't say the name, but you know who I'm talking about. Let's see. It was designed, so we're right here. I'll get it. There we go. At the top of the page. Dang it. It was designed to address subversive activities such as widespread opposition to a U.S. military invasion abroad, particularly in Central America. Okay, so replace that with what's going on in Israel, the state of the blue and white. Okay. Military and civilian control, Alpha and Night Train. The exercise included a component called Rex 84 Night Train, which rehearsed airlifting the entire 82nd Airborne Division, 15,000 troops, from Fort Bragg to El Salvador, under cover of night, to enforce martial law as a simulated invasion. Wow. In the cover of night. More subtle than any beast of the field. The plan authorized the military to direct movement of civilian populations at state and regional levels to combat perceived subversive activities. So there is your violation of the Posse Comitatus Act. You're witnessing it. Why? Because peace and safety. You want to be safe, don't you? So we have to take some sort of extreme measures just to ensure it. Okay? Here we go. States like Texas, Alabama, Louisiana utilize civilian state defense forces independent of the National Guard to which sidestep, look at that, to sidestep the Posse Comitatus Act, which restricts the use of federal military forces on domestic law enforcement, and these forces recruited partly through Soldier of Fortune magazine, which were supplied with significant military equipment for this exercise, or for the exercise. Look at that. God, dog. A roaring lion. No. Seeking. 1 Peter 5 and 8. I'll read it at 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, the deceiver, okay, as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But really, we just need a verse 8 there. See. All right. Ship arms to the Contras. Okay. Oh, we forgot. Part 4 here. Connection to broader contingency plans. But if we reverse here real quick, where they talks about a civilian recruitment, now you start to see that movie Civil War from last year, 2024. You see its inner workings within this thing, because you have, the state deputizing or using the ignorance of the low-level Edomite, right? They took our job, Edomite, okay? And using their hate to their advantage. You see? And this can all be linked to right now, what you see. You can play, it's like a perfect puzzle piece, placed as if nothing has changed from 84 to now. FEMA's role included plans to ship arms to the Contras in violation of the Boland Amendment. So we'll go into all these things, right? Raising concerns about potential unconstitutionality. All right. So they compiled a list of 12,000 political security threats overlapping with FBI's jurisdiction. Attorney General William French Smith refused to release a related list. Of course, the exercise sparked criticism infringing on civil liberties, with civil libertarians citing it as a precursor to the militarization of the police and FEMA camps conspiracy theories, right? So ain't nothing new under the sun, as the book of Ecclesiastes tells you. Aftermath. He resigned. All right, criticized his mismanagement. Okay, joint investigation of this, but key data was destroyed. Oh, look at that. Who was later kidnapped and killed. Jeez. Yep, that's why, that's how they do their own. Alright, it remains a reference point to debates about gov overreach. Okay, mass surveillance. That was what was the act that got initiated right after the Twin Tower thing, the 911 thing? But yeah, there was your entrance. That was the gateway into the mass surveillance we see now. Okay, problem, reaction, solution. They cause the problem, they wait for the reaction, they have the solution by way of extremely ambiguous acts and laws through pages and pages of fluff. And they're so ambiguous that they can just add or take away or make it fit whatever they need it to fit at any point in time. It's a one-size-fits-all. It's a freaking snapback. That's what they got a snapback hat for, for everything, right? So, you see, I want you to link that. Put two and two together. You can't say too much anymore. But yeah, look into all these things that I've got. All right, all these things right here. And definitely deep dive into the exercise itself. So with that being said, I pray that you're edified. Shalom.